Guten Tag and bienvenidos, Fraulines and Muchachos. You are listening to Über, Cinco, the podcast game show where we deep dive top fives. Today's topics are snacks where portion control need not apply, those delightful finger-licking goodies that you could munch on from the early morning to the wee hours. I'm your host, Nathan Hennenfent, and joining me is the hottest snack this side of the Southport Corridor in Chicago, Mitch Brinkman, and the Berwyn, Illinois thirst trap, Brian Ernst. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yo, what's up,
Wow.
dude? Hi.
My confidence is sky high right now.
Your spine is so straight today, Nathan. My lord, your haunches look ample. That's fantastic.
Kind of you to notice.
Thank you.
All right, for those
You're welcome,
of you...
You know what? I just got to say, I'm already having a ball. And that's why when I'm having a ball, I reach for Wilson tennis balls. The best vibrancy on the court. Wilson.
You can continue, Nate.
For a real smashing good time. Thank you.
For those of you who haven't played the game before, here's a quick rundown of the rules. Each player in the den has spent time with today's topic arranging their top 5 answers in order of importance. Those answers have been submitted to the host who will moderate the game, awarding points to the player with the most poignant answer.
Starting with their number 5 choice, we will move up the ranks until we reach each of their top answers. But if both contestants happen to have the same answer on their list, well, we have an Uber stare-down.
You will hear the official Über Cinco siren, and both players must reveal their answer and what number they ranked their submission. An Uber stare-down is all or nothing, with one player earning 3 points. After all answers have been read, the host will reveal the final score.
As host, I'm entitled to institute a house rule, so contestants are welcome to pair their delicacies with a fine vintage TV show or movie for me to watch while eating it, and bonus points may or may not be awarded accordingly. I'll see how it goes. Don't forget to stick around to the end where I, Nathan Hennenfent, will reveal my Fast 5, the top 5 wild drummer stories of all time, right out of the world of rock and roll. Brian, you won the pre-show beach ball tennis match, so you get to go first.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I'm so good. I'm so good. I'm so light on my feet in the sand, which just makes me just super agile.
And do you even use Wilson tennis balls?
It was
best?
Not when I'm
We
playing
use
with a
beach
beach
balls,
ball.
yeah.
No, I use beach balls because I know how to stay on track.
Okay, sorry.
My number 5 is a type of food that I sit with and snack on multiple holiday occasions. This would be miniature Reese's peanut butter cups. Now, this is a delectable treat that I like to sit and snack during Halloween,
Delectable?
during Christmas.
Did I just hear delectable as
I combined
just making a
2
new
words.
adjective. Okay,
And
all right.
That's how good they are.
I
They
didn't know
need
that was
their
part of
own-
the show today, was making up words. Okay, all right.
Have you been on this show before? Miniature Reese's peanut butter cups are good for Halloween, Christmas, or a Tuesday. These things are delicious because it's like a fun peeling game. You get to open up these little treasures every time, and it's the satisfaction of pistachios without like the sore fingertips and cracked nails that make it like really not worth it. But when you're done with like the whole family size bag, you have this giant like foil ball because you keep collecting them and putting them inside of each other, then rolling them up. And then you get to use this to destroy your enemies because it's functional because you're probably too like heavy to move after you've eaten this whole bag. So you got this giant ball, not Wilson sponsored, that you can whip at the temple of anybody that comes near you to try and take the rest of your snacks.
Oh my God.
So it's a perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter. And guess what? Calories don't count when you're eating those. It's just a fact. So there you go.
I actually, these are so delicious that the first time I ever tried to steal anything, it was a mini Reese's peanut butter cup. I was in Hilton Head, South Carolina on vacation with my family when I was 5 years old, and they had some just like sitting loose by the cash register. And I just couldn't help myself, and I took one. And then I was like walking with my arms folded, trying to undo the wrapper with one hand, and I couldn't do it. And my parents were finally like, "What are you doing?" And then I just broke down into tears, and I fessed up, and they made me apologize to the nice grocery store guy, and yeah. They drove me to a life of crime. That's how delicious these little guys are.
I told you. I mean, and they taste different than all the other products. They don't taste like Reese's Pieces. They don't taste like an actual real size peanut butter cup. They don't taste like the egg or the Christmas tree. The miniature ones taste different, and they're just special. Look at this look of bewilderment on Mr. I can't finish a Snickers face over here.
I just the lack of attention, detail, and quality ingredients that they put into this product, the mini Reese's peanut butter cup.
Why would this even be on the table today for the things that we are going to discuss? We're talking about just these don't matter. It's about the end product. It's about the taste and the feeling. It's not about what's in them.
Well, I know, but I'm saying the better ingredients you put in, the better product you get at the end. That's what I'm saying. And so my point was
the most highest quality chocolate and the best peanut butter out of the jar that's been stored in George Washington Carver's cabinet since whenever is not going to be as good as the chemicals that are inside a miniature Reese's peanut butter cup that are in my grocery store aisle. There is no way.
You know what? All I have to say is sorry, not sorry. So those are my opinions, and I'm gonna stick to them. So, and
take your dainty taste buds to your number 5 and do whatever you want.
Yeah,
I think
you little
refined.
Let's hear some.
Sorry, what?
Let's hear some refined and elevated remarks about your
Sure.
number 5, Mitch.
See, this is the thing. You get Brian and I debating useless food. It's gonna be chippy. We're gonna cut each other off. There's gonna be a lot of wait.
What? Huh?
What was that?
Blood
fuck
bath.
you. Yeah, that's what it is. I will stand behind these chunks of chocolate. God damn it. My number 5 is one of the most addictive little crispy baked snacks, and that is Garden Salsa Sun Chips.
That's right, Sun Chips. Sun Chips made both of your lists. Brian, where did you have Sun Chips ranked?
I had Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips at my number 4.
Oh, God.
All right, well, Mitch, you have the right to go first. Please defend your number 5.
Sure.
Garden Salsa Sun Chips.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. Nathan, what's your least favorite baseball team on the planet?
The St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, all right. People who eat Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips also root for the St. Louis Cardinals. That's how far below Garden Salsa flavor they are. Level 1, you have original. Level 1B is Harvest Cheddar, okay? Level 2 is maybe French onion lives there. And then there's chili lime Sun Chips, which they're like on the fucking mezzanine somewhere, and like no one's really sure how to get there unless you take like the second weird elevator. But then Garden Salsa Sun Chips, they rent the penthouse, and it's all to themselves. It's on level 20. Floors 4 through 19 are vacant. That's how much better they are than Harvest Cheddar. And let me just tell you, Garden Salsa Sun Chips, they bring a little spice. There's tons of flavor in there. And of course, it's like that beautiful, delicious. This is the only time I'm going to say this. Not real tomato flavor. It is engineered in a lab somewhere, and god damn it, do they do a great job. Thank you, Sun Chip scientists.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Hey, you know what? I can pick and choose where I go. Just like when I'm looking for great fishing rods, I go to Cabela's. Bring the outdoors closer to home.
Shut up.
Garden Salsa Sun Chips are so good that Danny and I, we will go to CVS at 12:30 at night and get a bag and eat them. Yes, Danny, I'm sorry, I'm outing us, but we are Garden Salsa Sun Chip addicted. That's how good they are. I have once eaten 2 bags in a sitting. And also, my favorite thing about Sun Chips is that one time they started making compostable bags made out of corn.
Yes, it's on my list too.
Okay, good. And I'm sure this is where we agree, because Sun Chips customers rose up and got loud, and they said, "This bag is too loud. This is ruining my shows. It's ruining my upstairs neighbors' shows. We want the old bag back." And they brought it back. So that is why Garden Salsa Sun Chips are number 1. It's the spice, it's the tomato flavor, and it's the color. It's the little red dust that's left behind. It's like no other color dust of any snack there is. Period. Done. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to share my hatred for the St. Louis Cardinals with the listeners. So that's going to weigh in your favor. But also an encyclopedic knowledge of Sun Chips flavors. I couldn't even have named you one before today. So that was impressive. But Brian, what is Mitch came out and he came after Harvest Cheddar.
Yeah.
He came after immediately with no prompting from you. Yet here we are with you saying Harvest Cheddar is on your list. What is the deal? What's going on here?
As much as Mitch frustrates me on everything that he says, what frustrates me more is every episode we go through, less and less foods Nathan has heard of or eats. Again, I don't know how this man lives. We will get to the bottom of it one day. But my anger at not selecting Harvest Cheddar. Harvest Cheddar is the most popular Sun Chip. It is the most sold bag of Sun Chip. It is Harvest Cheddar. Right there, the people have spoken. The people who shut down the biodegradable bag because it's been too loud, those are the people who root for Harvest Cheddar. All right? Just Sun Chips in general need to be in these big bags that you and I are discussing, because a fun-sized bag of Sun Chips, it's like a party just got started. You just got a little nibble. You just got a taste. You got to get a family-sized bag.
Yeah. And
you got to eat that puppy.
Okay.
Now, I went into detail on the finger dust too, but mine's going to be specific to the cheddar finger dust.
Sure.
Their dust to finger ratio is on point.
Yes.
Like you need at least 3 full bags to get the same amount of dust on your hand as like a handful of Cheetos Puffs.
Yeah.
The technology here is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's
and now,
true.
I think we could agree. One thing on Sun Chips we can agree: only true psychopaths eat original Sun Chips.
Yes, recognized game on that one. Absolutely. Okay, keep going.
Fantastic. These are my things. One, cheddar. It just reminds me of our neighbor to the north. We got Wisconsin right there. I'm just a cheddar man. I love cheddar in any form. But the Sun Chip cheddar, Harvest Cheddar, has been harvested just for me. It's so damn good.
Okay.
What are you going to come at me with, Mitch?
Well,
you give a thought.
Your point of this is the highest selling Sun Chip, therefore it's the best. I mean, Velveeta sells more Velveeta than, La Fromage sells Brie. That does not mean Velveeta is better than Brie. We all know that's not the case. So
we're not talking about different types of cheese here. We are talking about one family of chip brand.
Okay,
they all cost the same. All the flavors do cost the same.
We are talking
Velveeta
about
noticeably cheaper than whatever that French word was that I also have never heard of before.
Okay, fair enough. Fair point. Okay, fine. But just because let's say Tillamook. Tillamook's highest selling cheese is probably their extra sharp cheddar. Just because they sell the most sharp cheddar doesn't mean that's the best cheese.
Hang on, Mitch, hold. Nathan, are you on board with Tillamook? Are you familiar with Tillamook?
I'm aware that it exists, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Mitch, continue. I'm trying to piece together his diet as we go. Go ahead, Mitch, continue.
Yeah. I mean, there's I haven't had enough time to think through all of these, and I can't remember off the top of my head the entire selection of Tillamook cheese flavors because
Thank
there's
God
just
for
so
that.
many. I know, right? But actually,
we don't have enough time, Mitch.
As you were talking, though, it made me think, and it reminded me of Garrett's Chicago mix. Sun Chip needs to make a Harvest Cheddar Garden Salsa mixed bag. Cheese and tomato together, that would be an incredible little treat.
It could be their tomato and grilled cheese Sun Chip.
Thank you very much. Yes, I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. Or almost like a queso, cheese and tomato or salsa together. There you go. So
I think we've had common ground here, but I think it needs to be 2/3 Harvest Cheddar, 1/3 Garden Salsa for it to be the right ratio.
No. See, we'll say.
All right, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. We just achieved harmony, and it was actually a brilliant idea. Came out of talking about Sun Chips for 10 minutes, and I'm not letting us go any further than that because that was beautiful, and I will not have it ruined.
Okay.
And Mitch, you really swayed me with letting me talk about the how I hate the Cardinals and your encyclopedic knowledge. And Brian, you also mentioned my high school thrash metal band Cheddar Dust Finger. So I don't know which way to go. So you have to quick fire, each of you pair me sitting on my couch with some Sun Chips. What am I watching?
Oh, you are watching Peep Show Season 3. It's one sitting. You've got 3 bags, and you're going to finish all of them.
You have as many bags in front of you as there are episodes of The Last Dance.
Oh, that is tough, but I associate Sun Chips with childhood, which I associate with the 90s and Michael Jordan. So, Brian, you get 3 points.
Woo! That's how the game is played.
And also in your for your number 5, Brian, the Reese's peanut butter cups that led me to a life of crime. You're getting 3 points there too. Mitch, it's on to you for your number 4.
Sure. Thank you very much, Nathan, for doing a great job thus far of hosting. And I look forward to the rest of your brilliance showing throughout this episode. My number 4.
Keep it coming.
Thank you. My number 4 is it's a new favorite, and I discovered it in the past 6 months. But I am so freaking addicted. I'm hopelessly addicted now that I am overpaying for this product. I would never normally pay $7 for a bag of pretzels, but this shit is that good. And that is Dot's original flavored pretzels from Velva, North Dakota.
What?
Have you ever seen these? They're in a tall, thin bag. It's called Dots. It's a white lady with brown hair and glasses. Believe it or not, she's from North Dakota. This is her own recipe that she'd make at home for family, friends, and parties. And she brought that delicious, flavored dust to her pretzels, and she's selling them in grocery stores now. They are so damn delicious. Once you pop, you can't stop. And I know that's the Pringles slogan, but I think Dots should steal it. And I love them because they're little rods, which reminds me of one of my other favorite snacks, which is the rolled gold butter spindles. And so it's in little rods. They're delicious. They dip well. They go great by themselves. I've only had the original flavor, but that's all I need. That's how much I love Dots pretzels. And they also have some great pretzel factories up there in North Dakota. They pay people correctly, and probably contributing to the $7 bag, but I'm okay with paying that. They are that good. So Dots pretzels, I encourage everyone to go out and get a bag. And honestly, I would spend 3 nights, okay, no sleep, a little bit of water, while I'm chained to a radiator somewhere like in an unfinished basement of a 3,000 square foot house in rural North Dakota, just waiting for Dot to return. And I'm going to let her do whatever she wants to me, just as long as I get another bag of her pretzels, okay? That's how much I love Dot's pretzels, okay? They're
North Dakota sex dungeon good.
Yes, they absolutely are. You can scream in the winter night there and no one will hear you except for the cows. And, they're staying warm, so they're not coming to
They're
help
going to
you.
have to hear you because the basement's unfinished, so the walls have not been treated yet. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Dot's pretzels. They're incredible. The flavoring on there, it's sort of like there's definitely probably some garlic powder in there, definitely some nice salts going on. No pepper, because, pepper is the spiciest spice that exists in North Dakota. Too spicy for those mouths. And probably like a little, what else? Probably some onion powder in there or something. Whatever it is, the flavoring's just right. It's balanced just well enough. And it is a delicious, delicious treat.
Well, I want to know more about Dot. I mean, how is Dot still around, or is this like is she like a mascot from like the 20s, or is this a newer thing?
No. Dot's alive. Dot started the company. Dot is that lady on the website holding up the tray there. She's on the bag. She's on the back of the bag. And she's excited to expand her pretzel operations to Nebraska and Arizona to serve all the pretzel-thirsty public. It said something like that on the back of her bag. So
we visited the website while you were discussing there, and I could see their money is going to their marketing. Their website's beautiful.
Yep.
There's a Dot story here that I cannot wait to watch the video when we get off of this. But I'm fascinated by Dot's story.
Honestly, pairing this, Nathan, pairing Dot's pretzel with a really nice, smooth can of, let's say, Old Speckled Hen you pick up at Mike's Liquor in downtown Ely, Minnesota. Mike's, when flowers aren't enough. You pair those together with the Manchester United match that starts around 11 a.m. So it's not breakfast pretzels; it's like brunch pretzels. That's a pretty nice little snack right there. So
brunch pretzels.
Yeah,
I think you were bashing Brian for coining a term. You just coined brunch pretzels, and it was delightful.
Also, a little mustard dipping would go a very long way here. A little mustard, very long way. So,
well, I was going to give you 2 points for the heartwarming story of Dot and her pretzels, and then the expert brunch pretzel with some soccer. I'm going to bump you up to 3 points.
Oh,
so that's it for round 4. And then we're going to move over to Brian for his number 3.
Your wisdom is like obvious and far reaching.
Keep trying, bud. All right, my number 3 is another very specific brand. I'm going with Hostess for number 3. Specifically, their apple fruit pies. A kind of a outlier of the Hostess category. Now, why do I pick these, you ask?
What?
Shut up. I'm speaking. Now, there used to be a like Hostess, not an outlet store, but like a bakery store where it was in Countryside, Illinois. It was in like a mini mall. You went in there, they just sold Hostess products. So you can get shit tons of bread and then a bunch of treats. And it was all like semi-discounted or whatever. So you'd go in there because it went straight for the factory. You would get a smorgasbord of Hostess everything. We used to get the little cakes, the little cupcakes. You used to get the Twinkies, whatever. But then when I discovered these apple fruit pies, they're kind of little like semicircle, half circle shape. And let me describe this texture to you when you bite into one. No matter whether it was refrigerated or in a hot car, when you bite this thing, it's going to be cold. It makes no sense. I don't know what technology is in these things. They're cold. There's also a slight like Krispy Kreme kind of glaze on the top that breaks and cracks like ice with each bite. And then there's the crust. You're thinking apple pie. Man, this looks like it's going to be bland and dry, like a typical pie crust. Crust is not what you're going for the pie. You're going for the filling.
It's a Hostess. Yeah, it's going to be dry.
But this
and bland.
thing, no. Oh. This thing is soft and full of sugar. It's not like your boring pie crust. This thing is delicious. And then it is filled with a manufactured apple compote. Oh, that filling, man. Now, these things, you're supposed to eat probably half of one a decade to stay healthy.
I would agree.
Yeah, but
because they are soft and full of sugar.
When they're 25 cents a piece at the Hostess store, when you're getting 4 for $1, you're loading up on these puppies. So these were so good that I stopped eating them for like a decade. I had to stop. So I didn't go back to them. And then I discovered an off-brand version at Aldi this week. And I picked them up and just the floodgates of childhood came back to my brain. And I was like, oh, no wonder I quit these boys. It was like that little taste of the needle again. Oh, boy. No wonder I put these away.
These might be more dangerous than heroin.
I think they are.
They might be
I think they
more.
are.
There should be more laws against them than heroin.
Oh, for sure.
I do not like these things. So, Brian, you're in trouble. Mitch, what's your number 3?
Can you tell me why you don't like them?
They taste like just goop. There's. I can't go any further. We have to move on to Mitch. I'm sorry.
In a previous episode, Brian, didn't you mention about like not having a good breakfast on your at home, and you like took some of these with you as your breakfast to school or something?
Oh,
like
I definitely would have grabbed one of these. Okay. I mean, what's the difference between grabbing a donut on the way to school? It's the same shit. It's not a good breakfast. It's a breakfast.
That's true.
And it's not really even food. It is something.
Yeah. That's a very good point. My number 3. I'm also partially conflicted by this, but like, but like the badness of it makes it feel so much more delicious and delinquent when I'm doing that. I feel naughty, and that makes me want to keep doing it. And that is when I have wonderful brand salted pistachios. And you know what? I'm gonna break a little rule here, because sometimes you gotta blaze your own trail. And so for my number 3, I'm automatically pairing this with Moosehead Lager. Oh, let's hold for the sirens there.
They're not real.
They're not real. Oh, they're in my head. Okay. Yeah. So wonderful brand pistachios salted, paired with one of my favorite lagers. That is Moosehead from St. John, Canada, one of the last independent breweries in Canada. You have to have it out of the bottle. It's got to be the green glass. For whatever reason, that plays a trick on my brain, and it tastes better to me. I refer to it as the lemon lime Gatorade of beers, which means I can drink that puppy all day long. I just feel hydrated. Now, you can eat these. Obviously, you're watching maybe sports all day. You're watching the NBA playoffs. You're watching the Godfather series. You're watching, you're binging your favorite Netflix show. Never have I ever. You're binging your favorite HBO Max show, How to with John Wilson. You're binging your favorite Showtime show, Billions. I don't know what you're doing, but you're watching a lot of tube, and you're cracking nuts, and you're sucking all the salt off those shells, and then you're letting that delicious, soft pistachio flesh break between your teeth. And you're feeling that protein power your body to continue watching TV. But now the bad side of this, the people who own wonderful pistachios, they are the Resnicks. They are true supervillains. They have essentially stolen water from the state of California and then sell it back to the people at a giant premium. They're terrible people.
What?
Yes.
This is real?
This is real. They also own Fiji water. And so they have held the island of Fiji basically as prisoner. Every time people there ask for living wages as they work at their factories, they say, I don't think so. Actually, we're going to close down the factory and leave the island, destituting your communities whole. And then the people go, stare down. And then they break, and then they don't get the living wage. So they are absolute horrible monsters. They have funneled tons and tons and tons of dark money into the California political scene, controlling and maintaining terrible, terrible policies for the state. So that is the bad side. Oh, they also own the Clementine Company's Cuties. So don't buy Cuties either if you can. But they make the best pistachios. And I'm sorry, I've had pistachios. I've had the generic brand. I've had Trader Joe's pistachios. I've had what's the other nut company? Something else. Wonderful pistachios are the best.
Planters?
Planters. There we go. There's one. Yeah. And so I
said that so Midwestern. I'm sorry. Planters?
Planters?
There's no T in that word.
No. So, whoops.
Planters nuts.
Yeah, planters.
So this is, I feel bad eating these, but they are the best pistachios. And they go great with Moosehead.
Dear God, I had no idea that Big Pistachio was so corrupt and full of these dark undertones.
Central California is a dark fucking place, my dude. It is a whole other world. It is not Hollywood, I'll tell you what. There are no stars there.
Well, I love the idea of drinking the Moosehead and watching like on a Sunday, watching just every NFL game, eating pistachios and drinking Moosehead. That's just about perfect. But I miss Dot from the Pretzels, and I don't like these mobsters, these criminals. So I can only give you 2 points for this, Mitch. Then,
fair enough.
Brian, I was going to give you 0 because I remember these things and I hated them. But you told me you took a 10-year break, so you saved 1 point. So you're getting 1 point for that. and then it's back to you for your number 2.
I forgot to tell you, I paired them with Space Jam, but whatever. Number 2.
Too late. My pen has already spoken.
That's true. All right. You just got more points than me for supporting a horrible, evil empire.
Hail
so
Satan,
I don't.
Hail the Resnicks. Pistachios. Sorry, excuse me. Where am I?
Number 2, I'm going with cereal, and I'm speaking.
The podcast.
What?
That podcast? That's so old. Everyone's heard cereal at this point.
No, with a C.
Oh.
This is Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or Golden Grams. All right. Now, it has not been unheard of for me to finish a family-sized box in a sitting. Now, there's one way of doing this and one way only. You need a stainless steel mixing bowl. All right?
Oh, no.
What movie is that from? Isn't that in a movie?
That is from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and I was doing it long before that movie came out. His is actually a little big, all right? I think it's better to have a smaller mixing bowl that you constantly replenish with dry cereal. Yep. Otherwise, it's going to get too soggy by the time you get to the end of it. You got to go in batches.
Sure.
All right, so the awkward thing about enjoying the cereal this way is you have to kind of hold the bowl in your spoon and get the gallon of milk and this family-sized box and kind of struggle your way back to the couch. And as you sit there, you fill up the bowl with your cereal as high as it can go. And then you kind of fill up the milk until that cereal starts rising, almost until it gets to the edge, and then you stop. And then you start crunching away here. But what's great about this, you need to pick a serialized show. You need something like a Peep Show or back episodes of It's Always Sunny or something like that. You need something that's going to be continually feeding into the next episode because, I mean, this bowl is only going to last you about 5 minutes before you got to redunk and refill and move on. But this box is going to last you probably 2-3 episodes if you're lucky. So you're sitting there for an hour just going through this whole, I mean, a family-sized box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch is like 50 servings. So you're in for the long.
It was made for a family.
Yeah, well, that they put the wrong label on the box. This is their fault, not mine. They made these things like crack. That's their fault. Bringing it back to the drug analogies. Now, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is great because it makes the milk taste good afterwards, just like Reese's Puffs. You're going to get chocolate milk afterwards, which is fantastic. I hate milk. This is the only way I get milk in my system to make my bones strong is through cereal. So this is the only way I'm staying healthy is by eating a family-sized box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't think you
real
don't
healthy.
you don't need milk anymore as an adult. It's just as a kid when your bones were growing that milk was very.
I know, but Big Milk has like solidified itself in my head. It's still there.
that's a myth too, though.
That's called butter.
I don't.
No.
I don't drink milk.
Okay.
I don't drink milk, and I didn't drink milk as a kid, and I still managed to be 6'3". So that is a myth.
Sense. That
So
makes
don't-
sense. You got those soft bird bones. That makes sense now. Okay. Yeah.
You were near farms. You were inhaling bovine hormones in the air and whatever dust is coming off the corn. Like, come on. It was just in the air over there. Everyone knows city milk is equivalent to rural fresh air and making people grow.
City milk.
I don't have much more to say about this. I just love cereal and I can eat so much of this shit that I love it because I can keep constantly refilling and it's a never ending thing. And it could be dinner if you need, which is awesome.
That's enough cereal talk. So, Mitch, let's have your number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 comes from the Dean Foods Corporation. Dean Foods, fill up on life. And this is their number 1 ice cream flavor in my heart. And it should be in your mouths as well. And that is Dean's Windy City Minty Fudge Blast. Okay, this is an incredible flavor. And I don't care if they achieve this amount of creaminess from algae or carrageenan or whatever it is that's not real cream. But if it's devilish, I'm okay with that because this cream fucking slaps. Okay, it's soft, delicate fudge ripples also throughout the magnetically green cream, and I can eat this bowl after bowl. The fudge melts in your mouth along with the green cream as melting in your mouth at the same time. It's minty, it's fudgy, it's wonderful. It looks nice in a bowl. It scoops really easily. It's a very smooth scoop coming out of the container. I buy it by the by the pint? No, quart. Whatever is more than a quart. What's 2 quarts? What's that says? Gallon? Half gallon.
Half gallon.
Half gallon. Half gallon. There we go.
Ice cream comes in half gallons. Yes.
Quick math bonus for adding 2 quarters to 1/2.
There we go. I love this stuff. I was on a nice little run where it was like just a little bit of, well, not a little bit, a good amount of Windy City Minty Fudge Blast every night for like 2-3 months straight. But a year ago, this helped me through quarantine. I will absolutely say that. But I could not recommend this enough, and it's even better because Dean's loves putting their stuff on sale. So you can often get it for like $3 for a half gallon. Great price, a lot of cream, a lot of happiness.
Why is it named after the Windy City? Where does that come in?
I'm assuming, that it's a flavor they only distribute in the Chicagoland area, but
because they found out you live here and that was you're keeping it alive.
I think so. And you know what they say, it's not just the actual wind, it's about the changing politics as well. And I've heard that Rahm Emanuel loves this stuff. You eat this, you become like a go get 'em, take no shit, take no prisoners business guy like Rahm. So
Just want to comment on the blatant hypocrisy here. While
Excuse me?
chemicals are okay for Dean's ice cream, but they're bad for Reese's peanut butter cups.
Well, because it results in incredible flavor, and the peanut butter cups, in my opinion, does not result in incredible flavor.
Okay, well, your
That's the
opinion is
difference.
wrong. That's what we're trying to get at here. You have wrong opinions.
Do you need to get some Windy City Minty Fudge Blast in your mouth?
I would like to.
Okay.
I specifically buy mint chocolate chip style ice cream just because Jenny won't eat it. It's my ice cream.
Well, then, sir, you gotta go with Dean's Windy City Minty Fudge Blast. And if I say it 10 times, I get an extra point, right, Nathan?
No, you don't get extra points for that bull.
Actually, maybe he does. No, he doesn't. But as we were talking about, hang on, Mitch, are you still there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Also,
sorry.
Scottie Pippen's favorite flavor of ice cream is Windy City Minty Fudge Blast.
Is there scientific data to back that up?
I believe I saw it once on his Instagram a couple years back. So
Right, that's good enough for 2 points. And then Brian, I hate cereal. It's the worst. It's pointless. It's nothing. It's 1 point. And so that's going to take us.
How?
That's going to take us up to your number one. You have a chance to redeem yourself. Hit me with the number one.
You know what? Screw you, host. I hope I lose today because of how bad you're making me feel about good gluttonous cereal. All right, number one. I think Mitch is going to agree with me on this one. I'm going with grilled meats. Portion control does not matter on grilled meats, especially when they are made at home. Now, at a restaurant, I will order a single burger, get my meal, and be satisfied. But at a home barbecue, I'm eating 2 burgers, a brat, probably an Italian sausage, a little nibble of ribs, and I'm probably going to wash this all down with about a pound of potato salad. The portions don't matter when you're at home.
do you grill the potato salad? Because you just said meat, and all of a sudden you're adding potato salad on this too.
No. I said that's what I use it to wash down the meats with.
Oh, so that's your beverage is potato salad.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
What do you add to the potato salad to make it drinkable?
Oh no, you can just slurp that thing down right out of the jug. If you press the plastic sides enough, it becomes slurpable.
Mitch, you never had a hot or a tall glass of potato salad on a hot summer's day, or you never had a potato salad stand out in the front yard to make a little extra change.
I do have a quick story for this. You guys have been present when I have bought the worst potato salad I have ever purchased.
Yes,
I got it. I was going quick through the grocery store, grabbed it, didn't pay attention. It was so bad when you looked at the ingredients, it literally said potatoes, onions, mayonnaise.
Ugh.
There was no seasoning in this thing whatsoever. It was almost inedible. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And this week I was in charge of going and getting some groceries to bring to my parents' house for dinner. My sister was with me, and I go and I grab that tub of potato salad right there. She's like, but it's so expensive. I'm like, no. You do not look down at the other potato salads. You get the one that is priced appropriately and has flavoring in it. Yeah. All right. We don't have time to make potato salad today. We are going to spend the extra $2 to get the one that is edible. Yep. Let's go.
Yep.
Self-checkout now.
Also, a secret for anyone out there who is going to Portillo's here. Portillo's best dessert is the potato salad cake shake. I love it. They put a full slice of potato salad cake in there, extra mayo, blend it up with half and half.
A whole slice of potato salad. You know, you take that jar or that squishy plastic thing, you put it in the freezer, and then when you take it out, you can slice it with like a giant apple slicer.
Yep.
And then you blend a whole thing of potato salad in with some soft serve.
It is good, baby.
And you I'm going to use slurp again. You slurp it down.
Yep. Nathan,
how are my points looking, Nathan?
Mitch, what's your number one?
Nathan's spit guard on his mic is actually a vomit guard today, I think. So my number one is also meat, but I'm actually going to talk about meat and not potato salad, even though I appreciate you bringing us to potato salad.
You brought us to potato salad. I started with the meat.
You mentioned the potato salad. Don't do this. No, okay.
You steered it. You steered it.
Oh,
Continue.
You know what? You brought us the shitty car, okay, that steered it, whatever. Okay, my number one is a specific place's chicken, and that is Crisp on Broadway here in Lakeview. Their Korean spicy sweet chicken wings. These are incredible because they do not separate the wings. These things come whole. So each big wing, it's actually 2 if you go to normal sports bar. And I love these because the skin on the outside is both crispy and kind of leathery a little bit too. There's like some flavor stuck in there. You can see the red pepper flakes on the outside of the chicken. The sauce on there, it gets on your fingers. It's really sticky. And the heat builds slowly over your meal. It doesn't hit you too hard, so you can still eat like as many fucking chicken wings as you can stuff in your gullet. And I love these puppies because, again, it gets in your fingers. You can lick them off. It smells great. It's one of the few bar foods that when I'm eating it in a public place, people will walk by and they'll take a second look. And then I think, ooh, are you checking out my keister? And then I'm like, oh no, you're just looking at my chicken wings. But then I hunch over them a little bit because I'm like, no, I'm not sharing them. Get away. They're that good. And also, pro tip, if you get these and crisp is too full to sit down in there, because it normally is, because it's a great little restaurant, you bring these up to the Mariano's wine bar. And Mariano's, another secret tip, always has $2 wine or beer all the time. It's always available. So you can get real good and buzzy for real cheap. And then also at this Mariano's on Broadway, great people watching. There are freaks, wahoos, and how do you do's walking all over the place. So I highly recommend.
What does that have to do with the chicken wings? You're talking about something different.
Because instead of watching television, this is a real life. This is like going to theater, but you're in it. This is theater in the round.
You upset Nathan so much on mine that I couldn't even pair it with anything. So enjoy your people watching and do whatever you gotta do.
Your complaining doesn't sound very becoming of a winner.
I told you, I already don't care.
Okay,
I am all about me today.
Okay. I understand you're trying to control expectations, and it's smart. It's smart because you won't be sad when you lose.
Well, today's episode was foods where portion control doesn't matter, and I have had these wings. And it's true. I could just keep eating them forever and forever and forever. And I challenge you to do a pairing of what to watch. And I've been to the Mariano's and that wine bar, and you're right. There are a lot of how do you do's walking around. What did you say? Ring-dings and doodackers and
I like how do you do's.
Freaks, wahoos, and then how do you do's. So
you painted a lovely little portrait of the of the afternoon spent with this. So you're going to get a full 3 points. And,
yes.
And Brian, I'm going to give you 2 points, and not because of the potato salad thing, because I love eating grilled meats and I love overeating at a barbecue, but the portion control does matter. I make myself sick every time. So you're only going to get 2. So that brings the final scores up to Brian with 10 points and Mitch with 10 points. That's right, everybody. It's all the excitement of a tie.
Again, soccer doesn't matter.
And now all that is left is my Fast Five. And today's Fast Five is dedicated to the memory of Charlie Watts. Now, on a previous episode, we talked about historical time periods we would like to visit. And on my list was swinging London of the late 60s. A lot of the culture from that has has meant a lot to me over the years. It has to do with the music of the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, and Monty Python, etc. These things have been a big part of my life, but I never got to experience while the Beatles were active or when Led Zeppelin was active or all those bands. But I got to be a part of the Rolling Stones experience for all of my life so far, and they were my conduit into all the rest of that stuff, so they meant a lot to me. So I was very sad to hear that Charlie Watts passed this week. So my Charlie Watts in memory of top 5 is Wild Drummer Stories. Here we go. Number 5. This is a cheat, but I couldn't leave it out. This story was told by Simon Kirke, who was the drummer for Bad Company. So he's at a party at Friar Park, which is the sprawling estate owned by George Harrison. Doorbell rings, and there's a delivery a guy in like a real fancy delivery man outfit, sort of an old-timey thing, and he hands a solid gold telegram that's engraved with "Congratulations on selling your billionth record." George Harrison just sets it aside and says, "That'll make a good paperweight," and goes back to playing his guitar. Number 4 is John Bonham's Bananas. John Bonham was a nutcase, and it's hard to pick one story to include from him on this list, but how about this one? The only time Led Zeppelin cut a concert short was in 1980 when Bonham could only make it through 3 songs. The official report from the band, Bonham was sick after eating 27 bananas. Is that what really happened? If you believe that, I've got some wooden drumsticks to sell you. Oh, wait, drumsticks are made of wood. That joke doesn't work. Anyways, number 3, Ginger Baker. Ginger Baker was a nutcase, and if you want to see his insanity on full display, watch the truly bizarre and wildly entertaining documentary Beware of Mr. Baker. Baker was notoriously hard to get along with, and none of his bands lasted more than a couple of years due to his conflicts with band members. Bassist Jack Bruce was a particularly favorite target of Baker's outbursts, but for some reason they managed to be in 3 bands together. The highlight of their time together is no doubt when tensions were so high that Baker actually pulled a knife on Jack Bruce on stage. They did, of course, work together again. Number 2, Moon the Loon's Trousers. Keith Moon is a nutcase. We could do a whole episode with 2 top 5 lists of Keith Moon's debauchery, but I'm going to choose this cute little story. Moon would enlist a friend to go into London clothing stores, and the two would try on one pair of pants at the same time, each stuffing themselves into one pant leg. Then the sales staff would gather around them, trying to tell them to stop. But Moon was a force of nature. He was going to keep going. And so the 2 of them just piling into a size 32 pair of jeans. And eventually it would split in 2. But Moon had planted his chauffeur, who would just be around the corner, and he would waltz in right at the key moment and ask if they sold single-legged pairs of pants. And then he would pay full price and walk out with them. So no harm done. That's the only Keith Moon story I found where the last part is no harm done. And number 1 is, of course, reserved for Charlie Watts. One night on tour, Mick Jagger goes out to the bars and he has a long night. He comes back at about 3 a.m. He comes into the hotel. He's holding court. He's got all kinds of fans and hangers-on around him. He goes to the hotel desk. He makes them give them the phone, and he repeatedly calls up to Charlie Watts' room where Charlie is sleeping. Finally, Charlie answers. Mick says, "Where's my drummer?" Was that a passable Mick impression?
We'll let it slide. That's a good one. Yep.
"Where's my drummer?" Charlie hangs up the phone. He gets up. He shaves. He gets dressed. He puts on a suit. He shines his shoes. He combs his hair. Takes the elevator down to the lobby. Marches straight across. The crowd parts like the Red Sea, and Charlie punches Mick Jagger straight in the face and says, "Never call me your drummer, you're my fucking singer." And that is this week's episode of Über Cinco. Joining us was from UBK Towers out in Berwyn.
Brian Ernst.
And from the Southport Corridor here in Chicago,
Mitch Brinkman.
And as and I've been Nathan Henenfent. Don't forget that, which apparently I just did. As Bisber always says, keep on rocking in the free world. Auf Wiedersehen and adios.
You've just listened to Über Cinco, a production of UBK Studios. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your fine podcasts from.
If you like what you hear and want to support the show, please visit our Patreon site at patreon.com/UBK Studios. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and the bill collectors at bay.
Keep tabs on us on all the social media at UBK Studios, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see that we really are just a bunch of good Midwestern boys.